Well, here we go. This is Best Apocalypse Ever, Episode 1. We're making history here. My name is Keru. I will be your host today. This is, maybe I should show you around. It's worth a look. I'm in Italy right now. This is the view. I wish I could show you this view while I talk, but if I do, you won't see my face because the sun is the other way. So this is where I am right now. Beautiful Mediterranean Sea, which will be my co-host today. So let's see if I can put this tripod back. Here we go. All right, this is something I've been meaning to do for a long time. The Best Apocalypse Ever show, podcast. I'm not sure what to call it. So this first episode is just going to be basically an introduction where I'm going to try to tell you like kind of what I intend to do in the next episodes. So let's start right away. Who is this show for? Best Apocalypse Ever is created for people who are awakening to certain truths, who are asking questions, asking themselves questions, trying to find what's going on inside their hearts, their minds, inside their families, their society, and all the systems we have around ourselves. And we want to explore certain questions, important questions about our future. So what is it? What am I going to do? Well, I'm not sure if this is a show, a podcast. I want it to be entertaining. I want it to be maybe daring sometimes. I want it to be interactive, that's for sure. But basically, let's see it as entertainment for now, even though we'll tackle some serious subjects. I'm going through the who, what, where, when, why. So now, where? For starters, I guess this will be a YouTube show for now. I'm looking into making it a podcast, so using only the audio and get it as a podcast feed for people who prefer that format. And I'm always exploring other ways to broadcast. So we'll see. I'm starting with very little means, so I'm doing what I can with what I have. So right now, I'm just going to film this, put it on YouTube, and see where this goes. But we're definitely trying to expand the concept of Best Apocalypse Ever. When? This should be a weekly show, I think. I'm aiming for once a week. I would like to do interviews with people. So maybe sometimes schedule might depend on other people's availability. I do not plan to do the show live for now, for technical reasons mostly. Also for censorship reasons. There's a lot of censorship on the internet, as you probably know. So I'm trying to give myself a chance to blabber on freely and maybe decide to cut off some things if I think it might put the show in danger before releasing it. But eventually I'd like to do some live events. That's probably the formula that I'm aiming for, like doing stuff that's pre-recorded, but once in a while doing a special live event where it can be more interactive. Why am I doing this? Well, the big goal is to help humanity, help the planet. I think some subjects need to be talked about, and in a deeper way than we usually talk about them. I've been researching and just gathering a vast amount of knowledge on many subjects that I believe can help people, and I know other people who can contribute also with their knowledge, and I think together we can really make some progress forward into helping humanity, just helping humanity, period, and helping the planet. How am I going to do that? Well, there's a lot of shows out there, podcasts and YouTube broadcasting and stuff, who talk about like current events, who will expose some disturbing truth, who will get mad at certain situations, or there's a lot of them on the internet, and a lot of them are censored, a lot of them are attacked on a daily basis, and I think a lot of them are doing a good job. They are waking people up to what's going on now. But I feel that something is missing, and I've been feeling that for a long time. It's that I don't think most people have a vision of what could be in the future. In other words, now we're fighting some kind of a invisible enemy, kind of. Well, what if we defeat it? What's going to happen then? If the system we have uh, goes down, and we can replace it with something else, what do we want to replace it with? And I think people lack this sort of vision of what could be life for humanity, life on Earth. And that's what I'm trying to communicate to people. I'm not claiming to have all the answers. I'm next to a church. I'm really sorry. This thing's gonna go on for hours. Have a drink. Cheers. Ding. ACDC is about to start. Bells, bells. Sorry, it takes a while, man. Okay. I don't get it. It's 10 to 6. Why 10 to 6 starts every 10 minutes? Ding. Dong. Ding, ding. I really apologize for this. It sucks, man. But this is a good spot. I'm under the palm trees. I have the sea. There's not too much noise besides this. Okay, man. We get it. Shut up. I'm all for free speech, so. All right. All right. Yeah. It's less loud. I guess we're done. We're almost done. Okay, here we go. So as I was saying, what was I saying? This whole best apocalypse ever show that I'm trying to put together is about putting in people's minds the intention to explore what a positive future for humanity could be. What if we do get rid of the crummy systems we have? What other systems will replace them? There will always be some kind of system. So that's what I want to explore with people. And again, I'm not saying I have the truth and I have the ultimate vision of where we're going to go, but I think we need a vision. If you look at any, motivational speakers or motivation books or those seminars, where they teach you how to motivate yourself and how to accomplish your goals, there's always a part where you have to identify what you want to reach, where you want to go, what's the direction. And I think that's completely lacking in most people, even the most awakened people. They don't know. They just know that now is wrong. So we're sort of yelling and trying stuff, but if there's not a vision of where we're going to go, we could miss it. We could just miss it. So I'm trying to develop that and stay away from current events, because this just makes people mad. Let's focus on where we're going to go, and from then you can sort of backtrack. What are the steps to go there, and what are the things we need to get rid of now, and what are the things we need to build, and what are the new ways we need to think. We will need to think differently. And if you're watching this, if you're still watching, you're probably thinking a different way than you did a few years ago. I know I am. So you might even be feeling things a different way that you did years ago, and your actions are also different. So all that stems from the knowledge that you've taken in. So I want to bring more knowledge and more exploration of what could be, to bring different thoughts into people, different emotions, and ultimately different actions, more positive actions. Um, I will use English, the English language for now. It is not my first language. My first language is French. Um, I do want to reach as many people as possible, and for many reasons, I prefer starting this show in English, but I hopefully will have enough time to also do another version in French. Maybe not as often, maybe every other week. I'm not sure. For now, let's try the English way and see where that leads. Um, I also want to be just very clear, very transparent. This to me is a way to pay my rent. Also, I'm doing this to help humanity first of all, and I could do many other things if I wanted to just make money. There's a lot of things I could do that would make me money rather than this work, and make me money faster and more money and with more security, more safety, and knowing that I'm getting some kind of paycheck. Now I'm really just going out on a limb and basically saying, in my heart and soul, for a long time I felt that I need to do something. I need to contribute, and I've contributed in the past, but now I need to contribute in a different way, and this is the way. Like, I spent many months soul searching, and I really believe this best apocalypse ever is the way for me to contribute the best way possible. But that being said, since there are bills to pay and putting this thing together also costs a bit of money, there will be probably affiliate links. I'll build probably a website. There will be other projects around this broadcast that may include, be related to some financial stuff. So there might be sponsorships, there might be affiliate links, there might be donation options if people want to help. I would really appreciate your help. There might be products and services down the line. For example, I'm also a musician. I just released this album. If you want to get it, contact me. It's not on sale anywhere for now unless you contact me directly, because it's sort of not officially out. This is Sundown Songs, a bunch of acoustic tracks I recorded. I'm busking here on the Longomare near the sea. I've been doing this all summer, and I think it's a really, really good album. The people that listened to it and reviewed it so far were really, like, they know my work, and they were like, wow, this is amazing. This is really good. So let me know if you want it, and I'll talk more about it in the future. I will bother you with my music every single episode. That's just the way it is. Okay, so that's about it for the who, what, where, when, why. Now, what about the content? Well, obviously today I'm just chatting with you. I'm just sort of introducing the subject, introducing what this whole thing will be. But I'd like to do a lot of things. I'd like to interview a few people, some people who have interesting knowledge, who might have developed new technologies, who might have experimented with different concepts, or just share interesting philosophies. I'd love to do interviews with them. I've done interviews in the past with people about natural law, for example, which was a lot of fun. So I'd like to do more of that. So maybe some shows will be just a big part of it will be a long interview. I might do some reviews of all kinds of stuff. Maybe some products that might be useful. Maybe some movies or series or documentaries or books. Just things that I think might be a good idea to communicate to other people regarding all the subjects we're going to talk about. I want to use some humor, some comedy. I want to keep this lighthearted. We're basically going to talk about very deep subject in a very light manner. Like, today I'm not very formal. I'm just here by the sea with my little tripod and my cell phone. And that's the way it is, and I'm praying that the sound is good. um, but also, like, if there's like a comedian out there that's, has material regarding all these subjects somehow related, I'd love to talk with him on the show, give him some exposure. Same thing for musicians. I definitely want to involve some kind of music into this broadcast. So it's not like a set format. It might be a different thing every week, and I have limited means for now, but lots of ambition, and I can be quite a resourceful guy when I want to. So we'll see. We'll see how things evolve. It will depend on you also. It's very important for me to make this thing interactive as much as possible, which is difficult these days because there's all kinds of systems where, like, you want to be interactive and go towards people. You also need to sort of protect yourself and protect the product you're putting out. If people say something that they're not supposed to, I'm exposed to censorship. But I have a few ideas of how to go around these things and reach out to you guys. But it might involve doing things differently than you're used to, maybe on Facebook. Or, are you kidding me? It is every 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm talking over it. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, they're done. Oh, phew. Okay. So there might be also, as far as the content goes, maybe some investigating. Maybe we'll look into, well, what is this subject? For example, I don't know. I got interested last year about like tarot or astrology. Well, how does that work? Is that just hocus pocus, or is there really something to it? Where does it come from? What's the history of it? Who can talk to us about this? So we might go do a deeper interview. How can we use this knowledge if it's really useful? How can we use it to build a better future? So always try to link what we're going to explore with how can we use this? How can this become a tool to bring us to a place where we want to be, instead of just being used against us, as it usually is. Sometimes I might do like IRL videos like this in real life, walk around, might even talk to some people. I'm in Italy. I moved to Italy last year. My Italian is not very good, so it might be funny to see me try to speak Italian, or a lot of people speak English also here a little bit, so we'll see. Maybe I wouldn't mind interviewing people. It will depend also on my equipment, what I have, but as things evolve, as I said, I'd like to make it more and more interactive. I call it interactive with delay. So right now, hopefully there will be some kind of communication going through comments and emails and stuff like that. But I can't just be live right now. I need a little bit more better equipment, and get used to also talking about these subjects in a long form. I've done a lot of videos before, but they were always very planned, and I don't want this show to be too planned. I want it to be very spontaneous. I take a lot of inspiration from the streamers, for example, the young streamers on platforms like Twitch, where everything is improvised. They'll go on live for 8 hours and not have a clue what they're going to talk about. And they actually sometimes make it a lot of fun. What else can I tell you about the content? One thing I don't want to talk about is current events. The reason for that is mostly censorship, because there are words and things you can't say on YouTube without being harassed or shadow banned or just deplatformed altogether. And that's really not what I'm about right now. There might be other platforms, other venues where I will talk about some things. But as far as this show, the best apocalypse ever, we're not talking about current events, because we're talking about the future and the steps that will get us there. Current events are basically a big theater these days. It's like watching a big movie. Everything seems planned. Everything seems so over the top, overblown, so ridiculous. It's like a big play, basically to wake people up. And if you're watching this, you're already awakened enough Now it's time to take what you know and do something with it. And I think my show will help you bring you closer to that. Um, so yeah, we can talk about finance also. I'm always interested about different ways of either making money or exchanging money. I'm interested in cryptocurrencies. I'm excited by all those new technologies coming out. Um, and the way we can use them properly. I think people also need to be educated about how to use these technologies properly. For that, you need sort of the right philosophy before you use them. It's not just about making money or making profit. It's new ways to trade between humans. So I would like to talk about that. We can talk about the occult, all that vast knowledge that is not necessarily in the mainstream, but that we can use to better ourselves and maybe avoid certain pitfalls also. We'll talk about education, about basically alternative to everything. Because I don't know about you, but as far as I can tell, everything is messed up. Every system is messed up. You go to a hospital, you don't know how many pieces you're going to leave in, you know, you don't know what's going to happen to you. You send your kids to school, they might come back an idiot or just be formatted into some kind of robot. You go to buy some food, you don't even know what you're eating, what effect it has on you. I mean, every single system we have is completely corrupted or completely messed up. So I think we need alternatives to everything. And the challenge is to make these new pieces fit together in a way that works for everyone. And that's a real challenge. So we're going to explore all that. And I really want to have some fun. I'm never going to be too serious. It doesn't matter how serious my guest is. If I'm interviewing someone, I will ask some wacky questions just because I want to see a human being. I don't want to see just a scientist. I want to see the human being talk to me, talk to us. So basically, this show will be solutions oriented. It will be about exploration, not claiming to have the truth, not even claiming that we need to find the truth today about the subject. No, we're exploring, we're seeing what's out there and trying to trigger in the minds of people different possibilities. And it will be about building a community. And that's where I will need your help. I've always worked alone. All my life, I've done a lot of things alone, except as a musician, I was in a few bands. And but to have like a real community is really, it's really something dear to my heart that I would really like to achieve. If I can do that, if we can have people who watch this show talking to each other and, you know, me helping people connect, that would be really awesome. That's like a dream of mine. So I hope you will want to help me achieve that dream. Uh, Maybe a word about me. You probably don't know me. I'm just some dude, man. My name is Keru. It is not my real name. My real name is Guillaume. I use Keru because it means kick in Japanese, and it's sort of a nickname I had for a while when I was in bands. At some point, I released a song and a video about chemtrails. In English, I made a French and an English version of the same song. In English, it was called Line After Line, and in French, it was called Des Lignes, Des Lignes. And it had a certain success. It had quite a few views. It's on different channels, on different websites, but it's been viewed a lot. And so my name started to circulate as this sort of anti-chemtrails guy or whatever. And I got a little bit of notoriety, and then I organized a few things and published a few things under that name, Keru. So it just stayed, and I like it, so I use it. And it's simple. It's 4 letters, Keru. Thank you very much. I'm first and foremost, like originally a songwriter, a musician. I play guitar, I play bass, I sing. I've recorded a few albums. I record at home. I've done some studio work also. I I woke up. I've always known that the world was a little messed up, but I woke up on 9/11, the day of 9/11, 2001. The World Trade Center stuff and the Pentagon and DC. I remember watching TV and hearing the newscaster. Um, they were saying things that made no sense to me. They were saying things like, no one, when they built these giant towers, no one ever thought of what would happen if a plane ran into them. And I remember thinking, this guy's an idiot, like, or he must be under too much stress today, because I'm not an architect, I'm not an engineer. If I built a tower this high in New York, the first question I was asking myself is, what if there's a collision with a plane? I mean, duh. So it's like I started asking myself questions and really listening to the words they were using. And I thought, these guys are either complete morons or they're lying to us. They're reading a script that's just not true. And there were a lot of these little incidents. And anyways, if you're watching this, I think you know what I'm talking about. But this whole event triggered a lot of things in me. I didn't even have internet back then, so it took a while for me to catch up to other information, alternative informations, and eventually I woke up to a lot of things that's going on. One way I got involved was it was in French, but I made a series of 50 videos called 50 Ways to Awaken Humanity. And it was sort of the genesis of what I'm doing now with Best Apocalypse Ever, in the sense that I was trying to get into people's minds that there are solutions and many different ways. I was talking about new technologies, political solutions, financial solutions, things you can do personally in your life, things you can do in your community. It was like 50 of them. And that had a certain success also. Then a lot of censorship started on YouTube, and I just got discouraged, and I was like, okay, I can't, I'm not making videos anymore. And I didn't make much videos after that. But basically the concept was there, and that's sort of where I'm starting from now. Like taking this whole concept, but instead of making short videos, having a longer format where we can go a little bit deeper and have some fun with the subjects also. I worked as a youth counselor for a while, which was a lot of fun. I loved helping people, listening to them and just giving them some love. That's usually what they need, but also trying to guide them as much as possible. I worked as a DJ for a while. I worked as a comedian. I didn't work as a comedian. I'm not a comedian, but I did do like a dozen kind of open mic nights where I tried some stuff. I'm proud of the fact that I never did the same stuff twice. I tried different things every time. So I wrote a lot of stuff, and basically just public speaking is something I enjoy and I think I can be good at. In this format, it's a little difficult because we're tackling difficult subjects, touchy subjects. You have to really be careful with your words. My whole philosophy on what we're trying to do is something I read one day that said, it's useless to try to fight the system. You need to build another system that will make the first one obsolete. And when I read that, I thought, oh my God, I got to stop yelling at the government, or I got to stop getting mad at things and just create something new, create something better. Make the change, be the change you want to see, basically. So that's the big philosophy behind the Best Apocalypse Ever show. Actually, this saying, Best Apocalypse Ever, I came up with that about maybe a year and a half ago. And when the whole COVID operation started, I was relieved, because I was like, okay, this is gonna suck. There's gonna be measures. I knew everything is gonna happen. I had a good idea because I heard about it like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, Alex Jones was talking about that 15 years ago, that there would be some kind of medical sanitary crisis, and they would use that to implement all kinds of, it's nothing new. But I was relieved when I saw it, because I was like, okay, finally we're moving on to the next stages of this sort of invisible war. Now some people are going to have to come out. They're going to have to commit to the evil that they're doing. They're not just hiding. Now they're doing it for real. And we'll be able to see it. Finally, finally. We're going to see reality. The veil is coming down, which is what apocalypse means. And I decided about a year and a half ago, I said, okay, I'm going to make some changes in my life. There's some things I don't like. I was living in Montreal, Canada. Just to give you a quick story, I was born in France, but my parents moved to Canada, to Montreal, when I was pretty young, so I lived all my life in Montreal. And last year, I just thought, I don't like it here. It's like a dead city. There's so much pollution now, and anyways, there's too many things that got on my nerves. And I thought, well, where would I want to be? And well, this is where I want to be. This is where I moved, and this is where I live now. And basically, I was like, I think it's going to be tough the next few years. I think it's going to be a lot of BS and a lot of compromises, and yeah, I think it's going to suck, because we're going to go through this apocalypse, no matter where we are. So I thought, okay, well, let's go to the best place possible and have the best apocalypse ever, the best apocalypse possible. And this show, that's kind of what it's about. Let's make the best of what we have. Let's find the best people we can find in the world to inspire us. Let's find the best technologies that are out there, even though no one is talking about them, even though governments are trying to hide them. Let's find them. If everyone in their garage starts making a little unit that produces some kind of free energy, or a car that doesn't need outside help to run, like it exists, what are they going to do? I mean, if everyone does it, people in the neighborhood will say, hey, this guy in his garage did this and that. Why would they pay that much for oil after that? Like, once this starts, and I believe it is started, it's a chain reaction, and everything starts changing. Everything starts crumbling, be replaced by other things. And I just want to make sure that we do this in consciousness, that we're aware of the possibilities and aware of where we're trying to go with this. Not just going along with, oh, now such corporation has released this new technology, let's all get chipped. That's the new thing, If you're not doing this with awareness, you will fall into those traps. So I hope this show will help people make the best decisions possible and have the best apocalypse ever. Since I moved to Italy, it hasn't been easy, especially as far as financial issues, because everything is messed up everywhere, and whatever you do, you sort of depend on other companies or other people's funds to live. So I was affected by that. I've been busking all summer, which has been pretty much the way I buy food. It was fun though, a great experience. People here are really, really nice. I love them. I love this place. Maybe I'll live all my life here. We'll see. But when I started seeing friends that I thought were a bit awakened, but really sort of go the other way and say, oh, well, my job is telling me I need to, or, it really depressed me. Like last winter, I can say I went through a big depression. I'm surprised that I survived it. It was really, really tough. Just realizing how close-minded some people were, and I realized that some people were not going to change, and they were probably gonna choose to leave this world rather than change, and that just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I went through a sort of dark night of the soul, last winter, and a lot of soul searching also. I was completely alone for about 6 months. And I went deep inside and found a lot of things. I wrote a lot of songs. I wrote the concept for Best Apocalypse Ever. I wrote a lot of, I conceptualized a lot of things that hopefully will all come together this year or next year. So now I'm in a rebuilding phase, and it's very exciting. It's very scary because financially I never know how I'm going to pay my rent the next month. But it's very exciting, and I keep thinking, if you do the right thing, try to help others, yeah, you have like a moral way of living, you're protected. You'll be protected somehow. And we don't need to be millionaires. We don't need, whatever we need, we'll find. I have a tripod that I'm using right now, and it's too short for me. Like if I put my camera straight up on it, all you would see is my belly. which would fill up the screen. So coming here, I was like, I got this tripod, but it's not big enough. And I just look on the ground as I was thinking that, and there's a bunch of empty cardboard boxes. I was like, hey, this box is perfect size to do what I want to do. And my tripod now is resting on this box. So basically, it's this whole manifestation thing, which I will talk about in episodes also. I believe we're going to a future where that's going to be a big part of our lives, and it takes a long time to learn learn how to manifest, learn how not to manifest, learn the sort of philosophy behind it of why it's a good idea to do this but not to use it for this other thing. And so basically what I'm trying to say is we need to grow up. We all need to grow up, and I hope this show, the Best Apocalypse Ever show, will help us together grow up together, be smarter, be more efficient, be closer to what a real human, an advanced human being should be. Not a robotized human, a real human. Because I believe we're not real humans yet. We're sort of teenage humans. We're not yet smart enough. We're not adults. We haven't reached the potential of a real good human being. And it's okay. We're children. We're teenagers. We're teenagers having a crisis. And now we're about to leave the nest, leave home, leave our parents' home. So this is always a very chaotic period. And eventually we'll build our own home and our own family. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing literally on this planet. We're leaving an old system. We're being lost, experimenting, and hopefully building something that will be worth it in the end. So as I showed you, I have a new album that I recorded. I have this new show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, that I'm putting together. Lots of other projects, and hopefully everything will be related. Everything will be connected. So, and as much as possible, everything will be interactive. So I hope you will want to participate. What else I want to tell you? Maybe, I'm basically just wherever you see this being broadcast, please subscribe, share this video. I would love if people talked among each other, talk about the need for a positive vision, not just random actions, not just because that's reacting to what other people are doing to you, but actually having a vision and acting towards that vision, I think is a lot more efficient. So, and I think it shouldn't be just one person alone. It should be people coming together and deciding together what kind of vision do we want and helping each other achieve that vision. I'm encouraging you to spend at least 51% of your time, your energy, your money on things you want, rather than the things that make you angry or the things that they're trying to do to you, Just what do you want? Put your energy on that. I mean, last year I was stuck in Montreal. I hated my life. I decided to leave. I didn't want to come to Italy. I didn't know where to go. And well, life threw me through all kinds of loops, and I ended up here. And I can't imagine another place in the world where I would want to be right now. I could use with a little less of that. Anyways, that church about to ring again. Church bell. Um, so basically, what I'm saying is, I'm encouraging you to change what sucks. You know, unless it's your girlfriend. I mean, just change the things you don't like in your life as much as possible. And I believe me moving here has influenced a lot of people where I was in Montreal. A lot of my friends, like, they were like, whoa, he really made that move. When they saw the videos and the pictures of where I live now, they wanted to better their situation, and they made moves. They were inspired by what I did. So in a very real way, by being a little bit not selfish, but really focused on my needs and the best thing I can do for me, last year I ended up helping some people. And now I think I'm helping some people here. I'm in a small village where there's no musician. So I'm the guy playing by the water, playing guitar every night. And people seem to be very happy. Like I see, like teenagers, they can be like sarcastic. Like when they see anything, they see, I don't know, a juggler or like a street performer, and they might just laugh at him. But there's none of that. Like they actually come to me like, whoa, man, this is really cool, and thank you, and can you play that song? They show me Italian songs, and they want me to learn like Italian rap songs. But I tell them, man, no way, I can't learn that stuff. So I learned the chords on guitar, and I tell them, well, you rap, and I'll play. But basically, like, I found new ways to contribute, and in doing so, I really believe I'm helping out. It's like, if you find a place where your energy will be good, will be sort of filled, you'll be able to give more, and it will help people. So in my case, changing my geographical situation was key. I had to be someplace where there wasn't any snow, and I wanted the beach, I wanted the ocean, I wanted the palm trees, and I got all that and much, much more. So, and by the way, it doesn't cost me more than when I lived in Montreal. It's the same. If you want to buy a house here, it costs a lot. But if you want to rent, it's the same place, same thing as an apartment in Montreal. So, no complaints, man. It's the best move I've ever made. And it took a giant leap of faith. Like the people who were with me when I moved, they were like, man, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? I was in the airport almost crying, like, what the hell am I doing with my luggage and my guitar? But it turned out really good. So I'm encouraging you to make whatever change you need to do. You need to make to lift up your life so you can lift others after. And yeah. So again, subscribe, share, follow this. Hopefully next week there will be episode 2, which will probably be a different format. Maybe I will interview someone else. Maybe I'll bring out my guitar and play a song. Maybe I'll do so. I'll try to change it up once in a while so it never gets boring. I mean, just listening to me talking can I think it gets old. But and I will have different subjects and I'll do my best to make it exciting. Please do your best to communicate to me what you want. Give me some feedback. I will need some feedback if I am to improve this show. So thank you. I love you very much. Thank you for being a part of this, and together let's have the best apocalypse ever. Ciao.